Good morning, everyone. I wanted to take this opportunity. We're giving a briefing. We're just going to give you one of the things I like to tell you more than anything. I wanted you to be armed with the facts as we can share them with the public. So today we're just going to share what we know. It's still very early on in an investigation. But we wanted to take this opportunity. The chief and his team are here to give you the facts. I want the citizens to understand what we know. We will share as we can. But I want to take this moment to say that my heart and my prayers go out to those who lost a loved one in this incident. And I'll just say as a father of four, unnecessary violence. Our young people, unnecessary violence. It breaks my heart to hear when we have young men and women who die at a young age, so much potential ahead of them, so much life in front of them, and it just continues to pull at my heart. It is not easy for me to get the call in the middle of the night from the chief or one of his team to tell me about incidents like this, and it pains me. But we wanted to make sure today we shared with you the facts of what we know and let you be armed with the facts as citizens of this community. And at this time, I'll stop and I'll let the chief share some things.
Good morning, everyone. At approximately 2:11 this morning, the Youngstown Police Department received calls of gunfire at or near the Torch Club. That's at 1283 Salt Springs Road. Officers from the Patrol Division and the Neighborhood Response Unit quickly arrived on scene, began to render first aid to several victims near the establishment. I first want to thank those officers that quickly responded to the scene and used their training, experience, and professionalism to control a chaotic and tragic incident. Due to the large crowds, officers from Austintown, Mill Creek Police Department, Girard, Liberty, and the State Highway Patrol arrived to lend assistance, and we sincerely thank them for their support as well. At this time, these are the facts as we know them and are able to release. 3 individuals are deceased, all apparently from gunshot wounds. At least 3 other individuals are injured from apparent gunshot wounds, with at least 1 in critical condition. Now let me point out that none of the shootings took place inside of the Torch Bar, but they stemmed from an incident which began there. There are at least 3 separate crime scenes that our Detective Bureau, our Crime Scene Unit, and Accident Investigation Unit are currently processing, all of which are in the vicinity of the Torch Bar. This is a complex investigation involving multiple crime scenes, numerous witnesses, 6 detectives, and 3 crime scene unit personnel. We are using all of our available resources to ensure a thorough and proper investigation is conducted. And as the mayor said, our thoughts and our prayers go out to the families of the victims, some of whom are still being notified, and for speedy recovery of those who were injured. We ask that you please be patient as we begin to piece together everything that happened only about 7 hours ago. We want to present to you only the facts of this tragic incident, and will release more information as it becomes available.
Questions?
What's to be done about this violence? I mean, it's pretty often. It feels like every other weekend we come in here and there's been some kind of shooting. You know, what is the solution? Is it conflict resolution? I mean, there's all kinds of different theories out there. What do you guys think it is?
I think it's everything. I think the young people now are using violence as the way to operate. But what we want to really is understand that some of these people are repeat offenders. And we need the justice system or the judicial side to help us. We've apprehended a couple of them with guns. yet they're back on the street again. So it's got to be a collective piece. It's not just one answer, it's multiple answers. Now, we don't have there's not enough for me to share with you this morning, but I'm sure as the case goes on, you'll find that it's not just as simple as sounding like, you know, they just walked up to someone and shot them. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a little more complex than that.
Do you guys have anybody in custody?
Captain.
There's no one in custody at this time reference the shootings, but there are a number of individuals they're talking to.
Have there been issues with Torch Club Bar and Grill before? Some of the neighbors are complaining about noise. I didn't know if this has ever been looked at as a nuisance, a public nuisance, anything like that.
There's been a number of complaints at the Torch Bar, certainly none that rose to this level, naturally. There have been a number of complaints that have drawn officers there for a time. Again, nothing to this magnitude.
Do you know how many weapons were used?
We can't release any information like that at this time. Again, this is, as the chief and mayor said, this is a complex investigation. There's a lot of moving pieces to it, and we'd be remiss to give you non-factual information at this point.
What is the third crime scene? We know about the car accident on Greenwood. We know about the shooting right there in front of the bar. What is the third crime scene?
There are two locations for shootings in and around the bar. There are two locations for shootings at the bar, and then the car accident. Those are the three scenes.
Oh, okay.
Do you believe this shooting was related to all the other shootings that have happened recently?
It would be way too early in the investigation to even make that kind of a connection, if one exists at all.
Is that it?
Got one more question for you. You were talking about how these people are getting caught with guns, going through the system, and then getting put back out on the street. What can we do to get tougher sentences to keep these people locked up instead of putting them back out on the street?
Yeah, and that's why I need the legal side to tell me what's available. I know if it's a federal, if they're taking federal, it's a different story. Maybe Attorney Lemmy can give you kind of a book answer to what happens with that.
You know, one of the factors in determining what bond is set on someone is safety of the community and the determination about whether or not this person has demonstrated violence and would have a propensity to more violence. And it's clear that we have to redouble our efforts to make sure that courts know exactly what someone is accused of, what someone has done, and why we think that there's a propensity to do something again. So we will redouble our efforts every day that we go into court to make sure that when someone is arrested, that on a gun charge, that the courts know how serious we think it is, and clearly we have to be more vociferous collectively as a prosecution team, so that it's not a revolving door bond-wise. Safety of the community is a factor that we have to continue to press. Thank you.
How can the public help? Witnesses?
Chief, you want me to, how can the public help?
The public can help by, if you know anything, please call us. No matter how minor or how small the detail may be, if you have any information concerning these crimes or any type of violence, please call the Youngstown Police Department.
Do you need more witnesses to help with this investigation?
I think more eyes, social media, cell phone, video, anything that you can share is very helpful. It's the age of social media, so it's ironic. You know, when you watch it on television, when things are going on, people will start taking out their camera. That's reality. That's how the social media children, I call them, they operate. They talk through their phone. They talk through their social media. So we'll take everything and anything you can share. As the mayor, you can send it. You can call my office directly, and I always tell, if you give me the information when I share with the chief and his team, it'll just say it came directly from the mayor. If anyone is afraid of their name to be used, we take, like the chief said, the small pieces might just finish that puzzle, but there's the big pieces out there that individuals can share just some information that, things that we might not know, that others knew that may be on the scene for us.
Yeah, because a lot of people get concerned about speaking up
Sure.
because of retaliation and things like that, so they can do this all anonymously.
That's why I make it a known fact. If you call the mayor's office, I come to the team all the time, and I tell them, here's what I got. And they never ask me where you got it from. They just know the citizens share. They come to my office, they'll say, I need a couple minutes of your time, Mayor, and they share that. So I take that information and I share it. I just want them to be comfortable. We have anonymous numbers as well. They can share. I don't know what offhand, Chief. 742?
746 clue.
746 clue. We haven't. I don't think we've even issued a press release today.
No, we haven't.
We haven't released a press release. That information will be on that press release, and we ask that you would share it with everyone that's out there.
Were the people involved in all of this, are they known to police?
Yeah.
Like, have you had issues with them before?
It's too
Yeah,
early.
we can't answer that.
Yeah, it's too early.
Are you worried about retaliation?
Anytime anyone gets any, I believe this is just me speaking. Anytime that someone's been a victim, there's always that moment in someone's emotion that they want to have retaliation or they want justice for their family. And I've said this time and time again, let the officers do their job, that we don't want any street justice. Let them do so early in the investigation. Let us do our job where no one seeks street justice.
One more question. Were one of the three that were deceased, was that one of the people that was involved in that car accident?
Chief, one of those involved.
Yes.
You guys, they tell me what I can't say. So.
And is there, I know you said you're still in the process of notifying family. Is there any details about the victims that you're able to release at this time?
Not at this time.
Thank you guys so much.